What's up, people? Welcome back to the Sports and Superhero Podcast, or working for the first time. If you didn't know, this is a podcast where we talk about sports and superhero news of the past week in entertainment. Yes, we bring you the stories that we found for this week. Mostly, sometimes it's hard to find stories, but when we find them, we bring them to you. Some stuff we know about, some stuff we learn about, but we talk to them about you. I'm your one of your hosts, Sammy, and I talk about superheroes. And my other host, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Marcus. I get you on the sports side. I think we got a jam-packed show today. I am
Okay.
looking forward to the superhero side of the podcast today.
Okay. We got some good stuff. We
Yeah.
got some stuff that people been talking about all week. Specific show has finished its run, and we will be talking about it. We're gonna put that later into the show, so you got to stick around for that, or you can jump to it, whichever one you choose. But we would appreciate if you listen to the whole thing. But yeah, if you also want to leave us a voice message about the show or about anything you want to talk about, as long as it's not some weird stuff, we got that in the description down below. Click that link, and you can leave like a minute and a half voice message to us, and we will definitely play it on the next show. Unless it's weird, then we're just gonna skip it. Just to be honest with you. But also, while you down there looking at that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Check out all our other social medias down there. We got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Yes, we still on Facebook. We even on Threads. I don't even use it that much. So if you talking to us over there, we probably missed it. But I've been trying to check it more often. But yeah, we've been going crazy on TikTok the last week. There's a lot of comments going in TikTok. So go hang out over there. Show us some love over there. Hit that follow over there. We're trying to get. I think we at like what were we at, Marcus? You said just a minute ago we were at like I think we're at like
Oh
20.
no, that I will have to go back and look.
I'm looking right
But
quick.
I
Yeah, we
just
had like 27. We had 27. It would be nice to be at 50 by the end of July. So if you could go hit that up for us, appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. But with that all out the way, Marcus, you want to go first? You want me to hit the first story? What you want to do?
I'll go first. I'm still trying to narrow down exactly what I want to talk about because I like
Okay,
like it's been so much on the sports
it's
side
been a
of it
lot of
that
stuff.
especially just yesterday alone, it's been so much. I think I will start off with this topic first because this is a
Okay.
special day and it happens once a year, every year for many years. For those who don't know, I'm talking about Bobby Bonilla. Celebrate him every July 1st. For those of you
Oh,
who
that
don't know,
okay. Yeah.
Bob,
Yeah. Tell
Bobby
them what it.
Bonilla,
I don't know.
Bobby Bonilla is a former baseball player. Okay, so
Okay.
Bobby Bonilla receives a $1.19 million check every July 1st, and he's going to keep receiving that check through 2035 through
Hmm.
2035. Goodness. Okay.
Jesus.
Due to a 2000 deferred payment deal with the Mets. So he signed with the Mets in 2000. I think he actually retired in 2000 or 2001, and he deferred his contract, which was 9.9 million owed to him. Um, let's see. I'm just I'm just reading my notes. I'm gonna start over. Okay, I'm gonna start over. I got out and I was getting too much stuff going there. Okay. Bobby Bonilla receives a 1.9 million check every July 1st through 2035 due to a 2000 deferred payment deal with the Mets. Instead of paying 5.9 million owed to him for the 2000 season up front, the Mets deferred it with an 8% interest, totaling 29.8 million over 25 years.
Oh.
Okay, so this was influenced by their investments in Bernie Madoff schemes. You remember Bernie Madoff? You know what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So they the owners of the Mets at the time like invested heavily in Bernie Madoff in the scheme, and they didn't know it was a scheme. So That's why they deferred Bobby Bonilla's contract to later. So a $5.9 million contract turned into $29.8 million over 5 years. The deal freed up cash for signings like Mike Hampton, but became costly after Madoff's Ponzi scheme collapsed. Bonilla benefits from steady income and Florida's tax advantages, while the Mets face ongoing financial criticism. So now I'm just going to go in a little bit more of the New York Mets and their involvement with Bernie Madoff. So the New York Mets were significantly impacted by Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, with the team's finances and ownership structure affected by the fallout. The scheme forced the Wilpons, then owners of the Mets, to take out loans to meet payroll and lead to a reduction in the team's payroll. The situation also resulted in the sale of a minority stake in the team group of investors, including Steve Cohen, who eventually purchased majority ownership. So by the Mets investing in Bernie Madoff and then it collapsed, they didn't have no money. So they couldn't even play their players. So they had to take out loans in order to pay their players. So that's why Bobby Bonilla gets $1 million check every July 1st, all the way to 2035.
Wow.
That ended
So
up being
who
a
was the
great
guy
deal.
that invested? Like that guy invested must have got fired.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure. Yeah. Yes.
Dang.
No longer. I mean, you got granted, this happened all the way back in 2000. It's 2025 now, and so July 1st is known as Bobby Bonilla Day because $1 million check, and he played baseball in 25 years.
Jesus, that must be nice. Isn't that something that what's his name? He's on the Dodgers. Didn't he defer his payment? Ohtani, I think his name is.
Oh yeah. That I don't know if he did that, but very well possible.
Because he got a big old contract and he deferred some of it, a good chunk of it, so the Dodgers still can pick up pieces to help them kind of win a World Series. But at a certain point, they got to pay him a chunk of money.
Right. That's because with baseball, there's no salary cap like in other sports, so you can sign all you want, and I want to say Alex Rodriguez had something similar with the Texas Rangers because he played for the Texas Rangers before he played for the Yankees.
He gets paid. Jesus
in
Christ.
December 2000, Alex Rodriguez signed a 10-year, $252 million contract with the Texas Rangers. So it's the largest contract in sports history at the time. The contract was considered astronomical and exceeded the payroll. So,
Okay, listen to this. I just Googled it. So Ohtani is getting paid $700 million for 10 years. He deferred $680 million, that amount of that money until for after 10 years. So the first 10 years that he's going to play for them, he's going to make $2 million per year. And then after that, if he still is playing for them or re-sign or whatever, he still gets paid $86 million per year. So he will be making $86 million per year from 2034 to 2043. He will be making $86 million, whether he is playing or not. That is wild.
That is one player who's going to enjoy retirement and is not going to go broke. 86 million afterwards, like $2 million.
86 million.
I'm playing baseball. Wild. I don't have time for all this other stuff anyway. I'm playing baseball, doing my job. But baseball is a long season. It's
Yeah,
from
it is a long
April.
season. It's a long
What
season.
spring training started? What March? Season started what? I think April. Some April to
Jesus.
October. So he's
Is
like,
he the
man,
highest paid baseball player? Now I have to look
he
that
might
up.
be because he's a two-way player. He's a pitcher and I know he pitches and
He
I
pitches and he kills the ball.
yeah, he's a good hitter too. But I don't know what position. I don't know if he's a DH or he actually plays in the outfield. It might be just a DH. I would imagine you want your pitcher out in the field playing also.
No, he's not. He's not the highest paid player because they do it by salary.
So
Uh,
with him only
he
making
makes
two,
he only makes 2 million for that year. The salary, the
right?
highest paid salary right now in 2025 is Juan Soto. He gets 126.9 million uh, a year right
Right.
now.
Okay.
So, but I guess he gets a 15-year signing bonus too, which is 765 million.
$765 signing bonus. Oh man!
That's a wild signing bonus.
Shout out to
And I've never
him.
even
And
heard of this guy.
you've never heard of
I've heard
Ohtani?
of Ohtani. I've heard of Ohtani. I ain't heard this Sato guy. So maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I have not heard of him. So the fact that he's making that, he's making more than Ohtani. Like, wow. Jesus. I need to start getting my son into baseball. Uh,
Yeah, and no
Jesus.
salary cap, man. Like if you really good, they will pay you. Whether they pay you up front or
Apparently.
later, you will get paid. Well, shout out to them
Apparently.
and their agents
Yeah,
and their talent to get them that kind of money. Shout out to them.
definitely. Definitely. Okay, well, speaking of agents and talent, the DCU is back on the board somewhat. Yes, Matt Reeves has stated he has finished the Batman sequel, Batman 2. He has finished the script. The script is completed. As you all know, he's had some personal things happen to him, so it delayed the project multiple times. And James Gunn, who is the new head of the DC studio for their movies and such and TV shows, said that they won't shoot a movie without a completed script. So he was okay with postponing the Batman sequel until the script was fully done. So Matt Reeves took some personal time, and a lot of people were like, "James Gunn, you need to move on to somebody else. You need to let him do what he's. I know he needs his time, but we still got to keep this train moving." And being that the Batman did so well, critically, people wanted to keep that momentum going, and it has taken I think it's 3 years now because it came out in 2022, I believe. I believe it came out in 2022. One second, let me double check. So I want to be giving you guys correct facts. And they are taking too long. Let me get back to the screen. 2022 March. So yes, it's been 3 years since we had any positive news about the Batman sequel. Besides knowing that they were making a sequel, after that we've just getting postponed and pushed back. But yeah, it is script is done. It's in the books. So this is set for theaters to come out in October 1st, 2027. So that gives them plenty of time to shoot this movie. I know what is his name? I just blanked on the guy that's playing Batman. Robert Pattinson. There we go. I know he was kind of getting worried because he was like, I might age out of being able to be the Batman by the time he's come back around. So that's a good sign for him that he should still be within age of the Batman. It might have to push it a couple years just to fit his age and where the Batman was. But I myself, in my opinion, the Batman, I didn't think it was that great. I'm gonna be honest. I know. I love Batman. Batman is my second favorite superhero. Spider-Man, Batman. Then it's up and down with Black Panther and Spawn. Was it Spawn? Yeah, Black Panther and Spawn. But Batman definitely my second favorite hero. And I was not as enthused as everybody else was with the Batman, but it did good. It did very good. Nice box office return. Kind of felt like the DC might be finding its footing in, and then they decided, hey, let's change everything and get a new leader for this. But they still have that Batman. So that Batman is in his own universe. He's not in the James Gunn universe. He's in his own universe still. So that Batman will still be in his own universe in the second movie. It, I think, depending on how well James Gunn's DC universe kicks off, which is going to happen very soon because we have Superman coming out in a week. Depending on how that goes, they might combine these universes. But if they don't go well, I can see them keeping them separated to let one flourish and one might have to just die off, unfortunately. And I know people hate hearing that, but right now, DC is still they on their last legs, kind of, and they trying to fight back. It has been kind of hard for the whole superhero industry. A lot of people saying there's a lot of superhero fatigue, and I can understand. There's been a lot of superhero projects in the last 10 years. It's been a lot of them. That's what Hollywood does. They find something that works and they beat it to the ground like a dead horse. So that's kind of expected. I can see Marvel has been talking about pulling back, not making as many projects, making fewer projects throughout the year. So it's not so much content. But right now, content is king. Like content moves the needle. So it's kind of hard not to do that. But guys, let us know. Are you excited that the Batman sequel has been completed? What's your thoughts? There's rumor that Freeze might be in this. Did you like the Batman? Let us know in the comments below. Side note, I have gotten my tickets for early screening for Superman. So on next podcast, we will do a Superman review. Um, I'm gonna do a non-spoiler review on the podcast, and then I'm gonna put out a spoiler review, just a quick video of me talking about more spoiler things of that movie the day after, just to give people time to go see the movie. Because, like I said, I get to see it early, but one of those things, do your thing. You might see stuff early too. But yeah, Marcus, did you see the Batman?
No,
Did you watch you didn't watch the Penguin either, huh?
no.
That the show. Okay.
Like
Okay.
like I like we talked about in the last episode. I watched the one with Bane. That was the last
Yeah,
Batman I
yeah.
watched because the other movie
Okay.
was Joker's movie. So those the
True. 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 Okay.
two I've
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So uh yeah,
I'm
let
not.
let us know. Let us know in the
I'm,
comments what you guys think.
I'm not really too high praise as Batman as a superhero
He
because
is a it's either you love him or you hate him. There's not a lot of
like
middle ground with Batman.
well, that's the thing. Like I'm in the middle because like I don't hate him, but it was like for me, this is just me and my personal opinion. But I think okay, superhero. When I think of superheroes, I think of someone who has superpowers. Like Batman, you just a dude in a suit. You cosplaying a superhero. In my opinion, don't come for me. That's just
They do come for you because they
that's just
love
how
Batman.
that's just how I feel about it. I'm like, you don't have
Well,
any
understandable.
superpowers. That's just me,
It's funny. He's one of the few superheroes that don't have actual superpowers, but he's like number. He's in the top 5 known superheroes, like in the world,
though.
top 5, which is wild. That the guy with no powers, which his real power is money and his detective skills. Like those are his real powers: money and detective skills. Because he has money to buy these gadgets, and he has a lot of time that he can spend detecting.
And guess what? Bane still whooped his ass. Boy, I tell you. How much money you got? Yeah, all right. Hey,
Still go
hey,
break your back, Batman.
hold on. Batman, Batman to superheroes is Drake to rap. They cosplay, man. They not real, man. Come on, they come for
Yeah, because
money.
Batman does have that suit that has those fake abs.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Exactly.
But guys, let us know. Hit us in the comments. Are you excited that the Batman 2 script is finished? Is that one of your most anticipated projects the DCU has lined up? What are your thoughts? Hit us in the comments down below.
Okay, so I gotta talk about this. I thought this kind of interesting. So the WNBA's All-Star game is coming up soon. It is July. Oh shoot, I put this in my notes. NBA All. It is July. Was July 19th, and it's in Indiana. So the Caitlin Clark has the most votes in WNBA history. She has 1,293,536 votes, which, if I remember correctly, I think her by herself has more votes than the other All Stars combined. If I remember that correctly. Um, okay, so here's the crazy part. Um, this breakdown came out of the list of the top 10 guards in the WNBA, and it was these top 10 players was ranked by the fans, the media, and the players in the WNBA. So I'm just going to give you the names and where they're ranked. Okay, so this is the fans ranking I'm going to give you first. The fans has Caitlin Clark ranked number 1 as the best guard in the league, which is no surprise. The fans has Paige Beckers ranked as number 2, Kelsey Mitchell at 3. Wait, where's 4? Wait a minute. Where's 4? I don't see. I was right. 1, 2, 3. I don't see 4. Anyway, Sabrina Ionescu was ranked 5, 5th. Kelsey Plum ranked 6th. Alicia Gray ranked 7th. This list is wow. Skylar Diggins Smith at 9 and Jackie Young at 10. So that was the fans rank. The media ranking has Caitlin Clark ranked as the 3rd best guard. Sabrina Ionescu ranked as the 2nd best guard, and Alicia Gray as the number 1 guard. Yeah, I'm just looking at the top 3 now. And now this is when stuff gets wild and where the controversy comes in. The players themselves has Alicia Gray ranked number 1. They have Sabrina Ionescu ranked number 2, and they have Skylar Diggins ranked as number 3. This is the ranking by the players. Sammy, where do you think Caitlin Clark is ranked on the players list? I just named the top 3 players ranked for the players. There's 10 people on this list.
I think they got her ranked like 5.
No.
She's not at 5?
She's
Lower?
not 5. Yes.
Lower. If these are other players, that seems kind of shady though. She's 8th.
She's ranked number 9.
Number 9. Ooh.
Number 9 by the players. Paige Beckers, who's in her rookie season,
WNBA higher than her?
She's ranked number 4.
Jesus, quite a bit higher than her. Where's Asia Wilson?
Well, this is just for the guards.
This is just for the guards. Okay.
Yeah. Asia's center power forward. So this is where controversy. WNBA players has Caitlin Clark ranked as the number 9 guard in the whole league.
Didn't she break a record this year?
I'm not sure, but I feel like number 9 is disrespectful.
That seems very disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful. I mean, okay, I'll play devil's advocate. I believe she's ranked not too low on the WNBA players list, but at the same time, I'm playing devil's advocate. If they're going off just this season, Caitlin has been in and out the lineup because she's actually injured now with a left groin injury. And then it was the quad injury earlier in the season. So if we just
are they going on stats? Are they going on stats or just?
I don't know. It's the same thing like when the list came out and the NBA players voted Tyrese Halliburton as overrated, and then we saw what he did in the playoffs.
Yeah, so, like a lot of them dudes that said he was overrated was watching him play in the finals.
Exactly. So, like I said, I don't. If it's based off of this, playing devil's advocate, if it's based off of this season, maybe that's why she's so low. Because, like I said, she's been in and out the lineup. But other than that, I don't see how she could be ranked that low because she's a hooper. She's a baller.
Yeah.
So, and then I saw a lot of people like, oh, it's jealousy. The other players are jealous. And you can make an argument for that. But I'm just going off of maybe it's because of the injuries she's had this season. That's why she's ranked so low. And maybe I'm just being naive, but I think she should be higher. But
understandable, yeah. I mean, I don't know what her stats are this year. And she has been hurt. This is the first time she's been hurt in her career and missed games because of it. So that sucks. But she can play.
I mean, even with the injuries, she's averaging 18.2 points a game, 5 rebounds, 8.9 assists, and 1.6 steals. Yeah, I'm taking that back. Even with the injuries, like these numbers, 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 8.9 assists, and 1.6 steals.
Those are some good numbers.
So, like you average like 2 steals a game, 9 rebounds a game, 9 assists a game, 5 boards, 18 points.
Pretty hefty numbers.
Yeah, I hate to be that. I think they are hating on it a little bit. But moving on, speaking about the Indiana Fever, Indiana Fever defeated the Minnesota Lynx 74-59 to win the 2025 Commissioner's Cup, despite Caitlin Clark not playing due to her injury. Okay. Letitia Howard was named Cup MVP, led by the Indiana Fever. She had 16 points and 12 rebounds. Indiana overcame an early deficit with a dominant second quarter, holding Minnesota scoreless for 8 minutes. That's good defense. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, the Fever's defensive effort, particularly Howard's performance against Peace Colliner, was key to their victory. Peace Colliner, she's really good. Like she's really good.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, 8 minutes is a long time to
that's a long
not
time to go
score.
scoreless. So they clamped down on them. So shout out to the Indiana Fever for winning the
Touche,
commissioner
touche.
commissioner Cubs even without their star player. And side note, the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, that's how the NBA in-season tournament started. It came up with the idea. They started it first in the WNBA, saw some
Okay.
success with it, and then that's when they implemented it into the NBA.
Okay.
So it's gonna be interesting how that holds up in the record books later on. Like, because no one's like, oh, this team won the in-season tournament cup or the
Exactly.
Commissioner's Cup.
It,
But like, no,
I
we
guess it
care
would
about the
only matter
finals.
if you win that and the finals.
Yeah,
I think that will only matter.
I feel like that's weird. Like back then, like later on, oh, Jordan number one. In terms because they didn't have it. I mean, it's already started now. When the first year the NBA had it, LeBron won it. Oh, Jordan, no, it's never. They didn't have it, and if they did, you probably would have six of those too. Okay. So yeah, it's just gonna be interesting how that holds up in later in history when you talk about the greats from
Yeah,
now later on, and you talk about stats and rings. I don't know how much these trophies in the middle of the season, how much water they're going to hold. Like, I mean, don't you dare bring that up in the argument. Get out of here with that. We're not trying to do that.
understandable, but you know people will bring it up. You know they will because
Oh,
it's
for
ammo.
sure, especially right, exactly.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's all I
I
got for,
understand that.
for sports. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of in game tournaments and things being pulled, um, people being ranked unfairly. Oh, there's a gnat. Uh, dang, I lost my train of thought. Nope, got it back. Sony, as you most should know, have the rights to Spider-Man movies. They own Spider-Man rights to his movies. Disney still owns Spider-Man TV shows and merchandising. The Sony owns the movie rights, and they have been doing things with their movie rights for Spider-Man. As they make Spider-Man movies with Spider-Man in the MCU. The Disney and Sony work together with those. Where I don't know the split offhand, but Disney helps produce those movies, so they get a cut of the box office, as they should between them sharing it like that. And I believe each Spider-Man movie, as of date, all three of them came out, have made $1 billion each. I'm saying that because I said it last time, and I think I'm correct. If I'm wrong, hit me in the comments. Let's fight about it. But yeah, they made $1 billion each. But Sony didn't stop there. They made other Sony Spider-Man spin-off movies. So they have made Venom, Morbius, Craven. They made three Venom movies, a Morbius, a Craven, and a Madam Web movie. So they haven't had as much success with these spin-off movies. The first Venom movie did very well. The second Venom movie did okay, and the third one did mediocre. Madam Web did horrible, horrible in the box office, horrible in critic score, horrible all around. I didn't even finish the movie. It's just not. It wasn't good to me, but I think it's just a bad movie too. Craven, I watched it and I watched it. It's
Yeah.
not great. It's not great. it's it's
It's
weird the way they did it. I watched it though. It didn't do great in the box office. It got a hit or miss with critics. People said they like it. Some people didn't say they like it. So it hit or miss. Morbius is hilarious. It's a hilariously bad movie.
Oh,
Did terrible at the box office.
that
They
was
trolled this movie because they on either Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, people were talking about how they were so excited to go see Morbius and blah blah this, and it came out and it didn't do good. But people were like, "Oh, y'all need to put Morbius back. We were out of town or something. We are gonna go see this movie, so you put it back in the movie theater just for people not to go see it again." So they got trolled on that. I don't know how y'all fall for that, but come on, guys. Um, I say that all to say Sony has paused all their spin-off movies. Yes, the fact that they've done terrible to this time stint of it, they said, you know what, let's just put a hold on these um, and wait for a while. There are silver linings in there in the execution of side movies, you should say, for Sony Spider-Man. They did make Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is an amazing movie. Got them an Oscar. Uh, it did okay in the box. It did not great in the box office, but it blew up on streaming. And then Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse did pretty good in the box office because of how well the first one did on streaming. So it found an audience and people were in love with it. To this day, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite Spider-Man movie, period. That's number one for me. Hey, it's number one because it's good. It's that good. Um, they are having a third one still coming out. So they're pausing all their other movies except for Spider-Man and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse are into that trilogy that they have going on. I think they got an Oscar for the second one too. I think so. Um, so they're pausing everything except Spider-Man and that Spider-Man. But they also have a Spider-Man Noir TV show coming out, which I don't know how they're able to do it because they don't own the TV rights to Spider-Man. But I think it's in some gray area where it's streaming TV. They're getting away with it, but they're still doing that one. So they're doing these three Spider-Man projects. Are you seeing a sign? You seeing what they're doing now? They're stop having Spider-Man villains in movies as lead characters, and they're just putting Spider-Man back in the lead. That's what they should have been doing the whole time. I know they have issues with Tom Holland wanting to do Spider-Man movies separate from MCU movies, I guess, but you still have the rights to other Spider-Man. Use those Spider-Man. They 100% can do that. So it seems like this might be the path they're trying to go down in the future, using other Spider-Mans because they have Spider-Man Noir, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen. They can use those different Spider-Man in movies. So we'll see what. Oh, technically they did do that with Madam Web, but that was a Spider-Man adjacent, Spider-Girl adjacent, because Madam Web was the lead character in that, and no one was excited about that. But yeah, Sony seems like they realize, hey, we messed up, guys. It only took us 7 movies to figure out we messed up. So let's redirect. A lot of people are happy but also sad because they announced a while ago that they were doing a Noel project, and if you don't know Noel, he is, I don't know how to describe him. He's a hunter of spider men. He eats Spider-Man as nourishment or something. In some comic books, there's kind of a couple different ways he does it, but he's basically a Spider-Man hunter. He hunts the Spider-Mans across the universes. And they were going to do a Noel movie. They kind of gave you a whole little tad bit of it in Venom, The Last Dance. They introduced Noel, and he was supposed to be coming. Wait, is no? I might be thinking of the wrong guy. No, I think is Venom's symbiote, the king of that world. Maybe it's either one of those. So but they're canceling that too. So don't worry about it. We won't see that for a while, or like a good 5 years to 10 years, most likely, until they ramp back up. But people are upset they will. Some people are upset that we won't get that. A lot of people are kind of happy because they like now you guys can't mess this up because you were gonna mess it up. Now there's a chance you won't get to it and mess it up. So we have that going forward. But yeah, what do you guys think about them doing this to these Spider-Man movies, stopping the spin-offs? Venom was good. I ain't gonna lie. The first Venom was really good. I like that. I dug it. The second Venom, I didn't like it as much. And then it just kept going downhill from there. None of the other spin-offs were actually good to me. Um, and clearly not good to the audience because they didn't do that well. So this might not be a bad thing for them to stop doing this and go back to the drawing board and figure out a better way to push out their projects and which way they should be going with their projects. Marcus, did you seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right? It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon animated movie. Oh, you gotta
No,
see it. It's so good.
no.
It's I'm not I'm gonna say this on the internet. This on there. I cried at that movie. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. I it's a good movie. I've seen it 2 times in theaters, and I own the movie on digital, and I'm gonna buy a physical copy of it too, just to have it, just to be safe, because it's such a good movie. And you know how it is nowadays, where everything's on streaming platforms, and if it's not on a streaming platform you have, you won't be able to get to see it. So I need a physical copy just to be safe, because they be pulling stuff off streaming platforms all the time. So I don't want that movie to be lost. But yeah, it's a good movie, Marcus. I recommend you sit down and watch it.
All right.
It's good. It's good if
Yeah.
you can find it at this point, because I don't know if it's on Netflix still. The sequel's on Netflix, but I don't know what the first one is.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, let us know in the comments, what do you think about Sony pulling all their Spider-Man side movies and stopping that, and seem to be trying to figure out a better way to go forward. Don't get it wrong. We still going to get Spider-Man the Into the Spider-Verse or Spider-Man Beyond. Is it? I don't know what the third one is called. I'm blanking right now, but it's still supposed to be coming out in like 2026, I believe. So we're still getting that, and we're still getting regular Spider-Man movies. So don't worry about that. Spider-Man is not going anywhere. His villains are just not going to be main stars anymore in their own movie. So there's that. But yeah,
So
let us know in the comments what you think.
I forgot to mention this in my last story, but shout out to Red Panda. A
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
I heard about that.
Yeah, Red Panda is she's a halftime performer. She performs at NBA games, WNBA games, and college games. Um, she typically rides a 7 foot tall unicycle and balances dishes on her head. Unfortunately, last night during the halftime show of the Fever Lake Lynx game, she fell off her unicycle and fractured her wrist. Um,
Mm.
she's back home now, so say shout out to Red Panda. I've seen her perform at multiple NBA games, so it's always fun to watch her do her performance. So shout out to her. I hope she gets well soon. All right, so
Did you? A side note. Did you see? I don't know if you posted it or somebody. I saw it on X where somebody was like, first, Halliburton, then Dame, now Red Panda. I was like, dang, NBA got to get on top of these injuries, baby. What is going on?
well, well since you brought that up, I guess I'll talk about that story. Uh, what? Wait. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about KG because KG had something to say about the
Oh,
injuries in the
really?
NBA.
Okay.
So Kevin Garnett commented on the NBA's spike in Achilles injuries, particularly among players wearing the number 0, and suggesting a link between calf weakness and Achilles tears. He believes players are in optimal shape and emphasize calf raises for strengthening. An expert validated Garnett's points, noting athletes focus on upper leg strength, causing lower leg to lag behind. While there's no direct proof the expert acknowledged the connection between a calf and Achilles because Halliburton, he had a calf injury, and then he eventually ruptured his Achilles, and I think the same went for Dame as well.
Mm.
But so now I'm going to go into KG's quote. KG said, "We don't think today's NBA players they do play at a fast rate, but I don't think they're in tip-top shape. I don't think the league is in the type of shape that you need to be in, the type of shape to play at this pace. I think they think that if anybody knows the body, your calves are your brakes. The one thing that supports the calves is your Achilles. So if your calf is the first thing to shut down, you have to think about how things are built." KG also went on to say, "I heard the other day some trainers were talking about the lack of calf raises for some of the players to end their workout. Bro, we used to end a workout, especially on leg day, with calf raises. This is how I'm speeding up. This is how I'm stopping. This is my whole wiggle. If your calves ain't here and on top of whatever I finish, I gotta be athletic enough to finish right. Strengthen your fucking calves. Do the fucking calf raises every day." Of course, I didn't say how KG said. KG is a lot more animated using his hands
He
and,
go
and,
aggressive.
and yelling. So I did, you know, just how I already imagine KG saying the KG voice with a lot more
Mm.
animation. So
I mean, yeah, he's got a point though.
yeah,
You got to take care of your calves.
yeah,
If you
the,
not doing the exercises to strengthen these things, they yeah
yeah, because the game is a lot faster paced now. So
yeah
like you said, like Halliburton had the calf strain, and then he eventually ruptured his Achilles. So and then like, yeah, it's all there. Like they all connected. So you got
hmm
to strengthen them calves. You got to do these full workouts. Um,
mm.
the commissioner Adam Silver also said recently that the league is tapping into AI to analyze the players' data to prevent or at least minimize the risk of players tearing their Achilles tendons. So yeah, so just like I saw another clip of KG. He was like, "Yeah, these players they just don't work out hard enough. They just do a little bit of stretching, go out there and play." He was like, "Yeah, I used to train hard in the all season, run up hills and whatnot, just doing everything I needed to do. I went hard in the all season to train to make sure my body was in shape for game times. Like when fourth quarter
yeah
come and you tired, he's like, I'm still good because I trained so hard that when the fourth quarter came, my body is used to this. So by the time it's nothing when it's crunch time because I'm used
yeah
to it. So that's KG's take. He doesn't think the current players are training hard enough for the season, and that is what is
okay.
contributing to all the injuries. That's
Hmm.
that's that's one of many takes. There's a lot of takes out there about why this happened this past season.
Yeah, I mean, is this? You might not have this information, but is this the highest record of Achilles injuries in a single season?
I,
That's something they need to look at. If this is could this be just a one off?
uh,
Um, is it? I know it's a faster paced game now, a lot more up and down. Um, do players need to start doing a different training method for this? Do they need to have when players have like calf strains? Do they need to just sit them? Because it seems right
I
after that calf strain, that Achilles goes. because they
I'm trying.
pushing it.
I'm trying to remember if that's what happened to KD when he tore his Achilles in the 2019 finals, because he was hurt, and then he came back and played in the finals because it's the finals, and then he ended up
Hmm.
rupturing his Achilles as well. Uh, yeah, that's the thing is like
I was
when
about
it
to say
comes to
something real wild.
what
I was about to say, how this nigga go talk and he ruptured his? He do the same thing. He just talking about
no,
all
no,
these calf things lips he did. He ruptured
well, no,
his. So
no, no, no.
what's going on?
You're mixing up two different players. I said KD, not KG.
Oh, I thought you said KG. Okay, never mind.
No, no,
My bad,
Kevin Durant.
KG. My bad. My bad. Okay.
Kevin
Okay.
Durant. Uh, what? Oh, I was
Okay.
gonna say something else, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh. So there's been opinions that like it's the shoes, it's these low top shoes that they're wearing. No, like I don't, I don't agree with that for one.
That
For
just
two,
seems irrational.
you think about it, they were playing in Chuck T's back then. There's
Exactly.
no, that's a cloth shoe. Yeah, it came around your ankle, but there's no support. It was just cloth. Like you roll your ankle, and that
Yeah.
it's not stopping anything. It's not stopping you from rolling your ankle. So I don't think the shoes has anything to do with it.
Okay.
They're like it's a. I was trying to look up, seeing if KD had a calf injury before he tore his Achilles in the finals, but I'm just browsing quickly. Uh, I don't see anything, but it's possible to come back and still have a good career because KD tore his in 2019, and
Hmm.
he's back. I mean, he's been
He's
back
still
playing
playing.
high
Yeah.
level basketball. So I mean, Kobe tore his. I was Kobe's, and this just goes in a legend of Kobe and the whole Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Kobe tore his, came off the floor, went back on the floor, shot his two free throws, made them, and went back off the floor.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not comparing it, but then you see like Tatum when he ruptured his, he was in pain on the floor, spinning around. Halliburton was, hitting the floor and saying no, no, no.
Yeah.
Even Dame, he popped his. He just sat there. He knew what it was. He was like, which, you know what? I'm going to talk about that right quick too.
Okay.
Let's talk. Speaking of Dame, Dame got waived by the Milwaukee Bucks. And actually, we talked about this earlier, stretching the contract. The Bucks are waiving Dame and are stretching his remaining 113 million in order to acquire Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers. So that came out, and then the Bucks signed Miles Turner to a deal to a 4-year, $107 million deal.
Ooh.
And then it was a lot of stuff was happening. And then it was like it came out that Giannis was not pleased with the Bucks waiving Dame. But as I was coming home from work today, I also saw something. I didn't have time to do research in it because I was busy since I've been home. That uh, they're saying Giannis knew that Dame was going to get waived and they was going after Miles Turner, and that apparently Giannis was excited about it. So I don't know. And one report they're
Hmm.
saying he was upset that Dame got waived, and then another report that was like, oh, he's excited that they were getting Miles Turner.
Yeah.
But regardless, the Bucks will owe Dame over 22 million a year for the next 5 years, and that money will count towards the Bucks salary cap. But then on the flip side, it came out that Dame is elated, is excited that the Bucks release him, allowing him to choose a contender of his choice without sacrificing money. So by the Bucks waiving him, that's more or less made Dame a free agent now, even though he has the ruptured Achilles. So
Hmm.
he can choose whatever team he wants to go to, and he doesn't have to worry about signing for less money because he's still going to get paid 22 million. a year over the next 5 years for Milwaukee.
Okay.
Side note, I would love to look at the Bucks' financial records because they are going to be paying a lot of people who is not working for them. So so listen. So Dame is going to get $22 million a year over the next 5 years. He's no longer
Okay.
will be playing for the Bucks. That guy paid Adrian Griffin, a coach that was not this season, last season, the beginning of last season, that hired Adrian Griffin. And then for some reason, unbeknownst to me, they fired him before the All-Star break to sign Doc Rivers. So now they got to pay Adrian Griffin out his contract. And I think they still owe Budenholzer money too. They fired him. They fired Budenholzer to sign Adrian Griffin. Then they fired Adrian Griffin. Didn't even let him get to the All-Star break, which the Bucks had a winning record. They was like either first or second in the East at the time. The Bucks were winning. Fired him to hire Doc Rivers, and they still got exit in the first round. Although last season Giannis was hurt during the first round, and then this season Dame was hurt in the first round. So they got eliminated by Indiana 2 years in a row, and Milwaukee is playing all these people who does not work for them. So it is an interesting story. But back to Dave, yeah, he can sign. I saw a report that Golden State is reaching out to him today.
Oh, really?
Could you imagine? We thought Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, that backcourt was nasty. Can you imagine having Dame and Steph and a backcourt? You know how far these guys shoot? They are terrific. That would be crazy.
True.
That would be crazy. I mean, they'll have a small guard lineup, which I don't know, but I would say, to say the least, it would be exciting to see those two play with each other during the regular season and not an All-Star game. I don't know if they have much success with it, but as a fan, it would be exciting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what Dame does, what team he chooses. I mean, obviously he's going to choose a contender, right? Because he doesn't have to worry about money. Right.
I want to win a ring.
I just hope he doesn't go to the Lakers. That's all. You go anywhere you want, just not the Lakers. And you know why?
Would you want him in Chicago?
It would be pointless. Because if he went to Chicago, like, he might as well stay in the. Well, not that he has a choice, but he was like, if he signed in Chicago, he might as well stay in Milwaukee. Chicago, my team is ass. They not doing nothing in free agency. They ain't bench shit. They ain't doing shit, and they ain't shit. They every year I don't even get excited. They never do anything in free agency. I know in years past they've tried to get some big names and they never like panned out. But like these last few years, they just do absolutely nothing. It's like they don't want to improve the team to make it better. I'm not going on my rant. If I do get into the league pass, it's not to watch the Bulls. It's going to be watch everybody else because they're terrible.
Okay. But well, speaking of, I don't even got a good segue. We talking about Ironheart.
Can we
gonna talk about Ironheart.
This is weather.
So we're gonna get into episode 4, 5, and 6. I just want to address the way this show has been kicked off and what has happened in this past week after they dropped their first 3 episodes. As you know, it got review bombed. It got a terrible score on Rotten Tomatoes. Was declared rotten. It was down like 30 to 20% rotten or something like that. Mind you, the review bomb happened literally 30 minutes after the first episode appeared. So people didn't have time to actually watch the episode before they reviewed it. I guess Rotten Tomatoes went back and filtered out the review bomb reviews of the show. And as of now, Disney Plus said that it was like either the third or the fourth highest series so far they've had out of all their Marvel shows, ratings wise. I don't know if that's 100% true. We have to wait till we get the ratings thing that show, but that could be 2 weeks from now. Unfortunately, it takes a while for it to show. And Disney, I don't think they gonna let us see their scores and stuff like that. But as of right now, I think the rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Dang, I should have looked this up.
Is it Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Ironheart.
I think it's sitting at 86% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Out of all the out of the 10 episodes that have come out, I mean 6 episodes have come out now. It's sitting at 86 on Rotten Tomatoes. Of course, it's got a lot of terrible reviews. People review bombing it, but it's at 86. That's recommended fresher or whatever they say for Rotten Tomatoes. So there's that. A lot of people come out about the writing on the show and how the AAU felt forced and this is not how black teenagers talk and all this. You know who are saying that? Older white men and older black people that are not around these teenagers. The show was made. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of older black people, black fans saying, "Oh, this is not how black people talk. This feels forced, and this feels like it was written by a white person." Well, black people wrote the show. Is I think a predominantly black writers' room that wrote the show. They might not talk how you think these teenagers are talking, but this is probably how these teenagers are talking. It's just what it is. I know this show was made like 3 to 2 years ago. So some of the memes and stuff like that of the show is a little outdated, but at that time, that could be how those kids were talking. So there's that. Also, they say that we get this overarching narrative that Riri was disrespecting Tony because she said Tony wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't a billionaire. And a lot of people take that as she being disrespectful to him. But within either that episode or the next episode, she talks about how Tony has pushed that field of technology and she respects him for that. And she's not going to roast him because he's Tony Stark. He is a genius. Like she's giving him his flowers. She just said he wouldn't be where he was if he wasn't a billionaire. Not meaning he wouldn't be a genius. He wouldn't be an inventor. But realistically, Tony probably wouldn't have made the Iron Man suit if he wasn't a billionaire. Because if he wasn't a billionaire, he wouldn't be moving like he was, and he wouldn't have been kidnapped because he wouldn't have been making weapons and stuff like that. His company, he wouldn't have got kidnapped, which made him make the Iron Man suit in the first place to save his life. He probably wouldn't have done that. So if you think of it in that aspect of that and him being able to get all the resources he can, being rich allows you a numerous amount of resources. He has that. If he didn't get that, he probably wouldn't be Iron Man. Honestly, that's how that might have worked. He could have probably been Batman, but he wouldn't have been Iron Man. He'd just been a guy running around, and Tony wouldn't have did that because he is not that type of person. But people are upset about that. They're upset about they feel like it's too many minorities in this, or it's too many LGBTQ plus people saying it's woke. Guys, woke isn't what you think it is. It's something you've taken over and made it something new. If you just come out and say you don't like to see other people and stuff, that people respect you a little more of that. But The world is full of different people. It's okay to see the same different people in our media. There's nothing wrong with that. Let that go. Not every show is woke, as you would like to say it. Every show is trying to hit the demographics that actually watch their show. That's
Yeah.
being paying attention to who is your fans and making sure they get to see themselves in what they like. Nothing wrong with that. You've been seeing yourself in the stuff you like for years. It's okay for other people to get a chance to see themselves in the stuff they like. They see you and still like you in that. Why can't you do the same? Grow up. But other than that, they're saying this is one of the weakest things Marvel has put out. Why they put out? There are way worse shows than this. Secret Invasion, horrible. I didn't even finish it. I didn't even finish the first episode. I won't say um Agatha All the Way is bad. It just wasn't for me. It that show wasn't for me. Even as a Marvel fan, that show wasn't for me. That show was made for a certain demographic of people, and those people enjoyed that show. You know what I didn't do? I didn't go on the internet and bash that show because I didn't like it because it wasn't made for me. It's okay for you not to like something. You know what's not okay for you to bash something because it doesn't work for you. Everything isn't made for everyone. If you don't enjoy it, cool. Stop watching it and move on. But for the people that enjoy it, don't hate them for enjoying something. That's what's wrong with the world nowadays. Everybody's hating on people for enjoying what they enjoy. Long as you ain't hurting nobody, breaking no laws, or doing some weird shit that you ain't supposed to be doing, leave people alone. Um, I say all that to say this show was really good. I gotta give it. I give it an 8.5, honestly, out of 10. I was worried that they weren't going to land the show and with the last 3 episodes, but it got me. I was on the edge of my seat. I was waiting to see what happens next. Is it a perfect show? No. Do I have problems with some of the characters' choices and the way they chose to develop characters? Yes and no. I get what they were doing. I can see what they were doing, but no show is perfect. Everything has a flaw. Would I have done it that same way? No. But would it have that same kind of outcome? Maybe not. I get that they were making a character, giving this character all kind of unnecessary flaws for them to come overcome eventually and grow up. That's most of superhero stories where superheroes are selfish, trying to look out for themselves, even though there's a peak of them trying to do something for either the people they love or the people they grew up with or the world, but they get clouded by their ambition of doing that. They don't realize their decisions are hurting people until it hurts the ones they truly love. Then they backtrack and learn from that mistake and grow as a person. That happens in most superhero stories, all down the road. All of Marvel is mostly those stories. So why are you upset when you see it happen here with the black woman? I'm not gonna call you what most people have been calling other people on the internet, but hey, might need to reflect on that.
What?
But let's get
Well,
into.
wait. The races is
Go
that
ahead.
is that what the word we're looking for? That's racist because
It's close to that
yeah,
word.
because I saw some comments and I was like, well, to me, in my opinion, the word woke, that is uh, that is a word that they heard in the media on television.
Yeah, yeah.
So anything that does not go with their ideology and they see minorities or different people in the shows, they're like, oh, it's too woke. This woke bullshit. Like, no, like you
Hmm.
said, it's okay to have different people in these shows. And then, like you also said earlier, people were complaining, oh, they have trans people, blah blah blah. These are, these are people that's in the world, like trans people. Gay people, they've been in the world for the beginning of time. It's just like back then they were afraid to come out to be themselves because of the repercussions. We have,
Murder.
I mean, yes, I mean that still happens now to this day. We
Very true, and
still
it's sad.
we're a little better. I won't say we're much better because a lot of stuff we're fighting for now, we've been still fighting for the same shit in the '60s. So it's like these are the people that's in the world. So yes, they're going to pop up in TV shows because there are more than one kind of person in the world, and
Yep.
everyone watches TV, no matter you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, gay, straight, purple, green. It doesn't matter. Everybody watches TV and enjoy
Very
these
true.
shows, and because you don't like it, does not give you the right to get online and bash it. That's
Yeah.
like if that's just like if I went online and say, fuck the sitcom Friends. It's just a spin-off and they stole the idea from Living Single. Living
You be
Single.
telling the truth. You be
No,
telling
I'll
the
be
truth.
telling
But is it
I'm telling
okay for
I
you to do it?
right. 'Cause for those you know, Living Single is a group of friends that lived in New York and they were friends, they shared experience in their personal life and in their work life. That show
Yep.
came out that show came out on August 22nd, 1993. Okay? Black cast. Well, guess
Full
what
black
happened?
ass.
Friends comes out, same concept, September 22nd, 1994. Now, I didn't watch Friends because it wasn't for me. I watched Living
No.
Single because that's what I knew. That was the cast that I recognized and people I recognized.
Yep.
Friends was not a cast that I recognized. But when I have come across it, I'm like, wait a minute. This is Living Single just with white people. And I didn't go online and bash the show. Like,
Yeah.
oh, what is this? They stole like what Soldier Boy said about Dre. What was that? Bar for bar. Like they stole the whole idea. I don't like it's okay for you.
100%.
It's okay for you to not like something and go on about your day about it. There's plenty
Mm.
of things on TV that I don't watch that people love to watch and talk about, but I don't go bashing it because what? One, I don't care enough to do it. Two, what is the point? I'm not going to shit on you because you like a show and I don't. Like,
Hmm.
really, like, why put the energy in that?
Yeah. It's wild. One of the biggest things people kept saying is nobody asked for this show. Nobody asked for half the things we get.
Yes.
Nobody asked for Marvel to do what they did. Nobody asked for Iron Man. They actually told them, "You're doing Iron Man. That's stupid. That's a stupid concept. Nobody's gonna watch that. Nobody's gonna even pay attention to that movie." And that movie kicked off a 10-year cinematic masterpiece for a studio who did something no other studio has ever done. Would had this cohesive universe with movies continuously telling a continuous story through each movie, introducing characters to a big team up movie, and lay the blueprint of how to have a cinematic universe to the point that people tried to copy them and speedball it and fail terribly. Talk about you, DC. You messed up. But yeah, nobody asked for Iron Man because Iron Man wasn't relevant at the time they made his movie. Nobody knew who he was really. He was a B to C tier superhero at that point in time in his career. And now he's an A tier superhero. That's how that works. So just because you didn't ask for it, nobody asked for Sinners. And that's the best thing we've ever gotten. Like, Jesus, that's amazing.
Hey,
But you probably hate that too, because
you
anyway.
know what? You know what else? No one asked for. No one asked for your shitty comments on a TV show that came out for 4 30 minutes. You didn't even watch a full episode, but yet you had a whole essay to write about a TV show that had only been out for 30 minutes, and you didn't even watch a full episode. No one asked for that shit either. Calm the fuck down. Just calm down. Just calm
Okay.
down, man.
with that all out the way, let's actually get into the review of the last tail end of Ironheart season one. Side note: there will be spoilers. I will be spoiling things, how things broke down, how things happen. But I'll give you this quick. If you haven't watched it, you want to come back to this. I will tell you. I've already said it. 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a great story, intriguing, interesting, very good, very decent character development. Some characters, the development kind of got stagnant at a certain point, and I was like, okay, you've taken this character as far as you guys seem to want to take it. You used it for what it was. But for overall, I thought it was a great series. I loved the characters, loved getting deeper into Riri's world. The action was decent. It was decent for streaming show action. The CGI was pretty good. It got little wonky at times, but for what they were doing, that that suit is on screen a lot. It's on screen on every episode. Every episode, you see her suit moving around too. So it's not just stationary. Sometimes it's sitting there stationary, but it eventually moves. So I was very happy with that. Um, yeah, I definitely would say recommend the show. Um, and I would say, yeah, I just recommend it to everybody because I think it's actually good. It's one of the few really good series that Marvel has done, and they've done a lot of these streaming series. I think it's really good and it works. It works really well when you go into it and just watch it. Just watch it for what it is and not what you assume it should be. A lot of people are putting their own ideas of what this is supposed to be instead of just listening to the writers and what they're telling you it is. Pay attention to that. And it's okay if you're from a different culture to be immersed in somebody else's culture and see how they do stuff. You have questions about ask somebody of that culture. That's one way we can start to come together a little more. Ask people about their cultures and about how things work with them. Um, do it properly. Don't be a dick about how you do it because that might get you knocked out. But open up a dialogue with different people of different races to be able to communicate with stuff. Like that's the kind of thing that happened. At least for me, when I watched Miss Marvel's show, I opened my eyes to a whole new culture and learned some stuff that I had no idea about. And you know what I did? I learned it. I didn't go on the internet. I was like, oh, this is not for me. No, no, I just learned it. So we're not gonna get back into that. We're just gonna move forward. Like I said, episode 4 and 5 and 6 dropped yesterday. I watched them. Um, or I'm gonna give you the overarching of the whole series. As you know, series about Riri. After Wakanda Forever, she comes back to Chicago, goes to MIT, is at MIT, gets kicked out for doing other people's work, trying to make money to build her Iron Man suit, to improve her Iron Man suit that she's already been building. And one thing people miss that she did say she was building it to give it to first responders so they can get to people quicker and help and save more people. With this suit, they will be able to get to incidents faster than they normally would and help people. Um, she is a genius. She's been genius since she was little. She started at MIT as 15. She was able to build her own Iron Man suit, a feat that a lot of other people in this universe have not done. The only other person able to build suits to this caliber and even beyond is Tony Stark. So she is right there with Tony Stark. She's still below him because he's using nanotech and she's using regular mechanical suits. Her suits have a lived-in feel. A lot of people got upset with the whole nano suits and how that is, but that's just the evolution of tech in that world. But her suit went back to regular tech where you have to the suit comes around you and you have to sit in it and you hear it clunk when she walks around, which is a very cool aesthetic of the suit. which you don't realize you missed with Iron Man, but you get that here. But she gets kicked out of MIT for doing what she's doing, but she built her suit with grant money. One of my cousins, we were talking about it. That's not how school grant money works, but in the show, it works like that. So she was able to take that suit back, but she had that suit on the MIT's AI network. So when she got kicked out, they eventually took it off, so she fell down. Suit got all messed up, so she has to rebuild it again. She's back at home, and of course, she went off to school and came back and don't really have nothing to show for it. So she's still fighting the feel of not doing what she set out to do to an extent. When you're a kid, go off to high school, go off to college, and you come back, you want to be look like you've done something. And right as of right now, she has nothing to show for it. So she has that chip on her shoulder. She wants to do something amazing. She wants to be iconic. She wants to be bigger than Tony Stark, bigger than Pym. She wants to have that mark on the world, like all people mostly want to make their mark on the world, and she wants to do that. And she has the intelligence to do that, but unfortunately, she doesn't have the resources to do that. And that takes her down a bad path of joining this gang to do jobs of stealing to get money to build her AI to complete her suit. Um, and she runs into the Hood's crew, and the Hood's crew is assortment of low-level villains that are doing Robin Hood robberies from rich billionaire tech people. They're taking from them and giving the money to themselves. And Red Hood, no, it's just Hood. Hood is Parker Robertson. He is the leader of the group, and he has a hood that gives him magical abilities. At the time, we're told that Demarmu. I always pronounce his name wrong. That might be what that hood was given from him. Later on, spoilers, we learned that it's actually Mephisto. Yes, Mephisto's finally in the um, MCU. They've been teasing him for the long time. The hood actually got that hood from Mephisto, who is the equivalent to the devil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we finally get his first appearance. We learn a little about him. We see Parker go through the whole why he's agreed to do what he's doing with Mephisto and gets his power. We learn that Parker was actually rich, not super rich, but regular rich. Well, his dad was rich, but his dad kicked him out of the house at 12, then make him fend for himself when his mother died because his dad didn't really like him. So we learned that Parker's whole reason for doing this robbing from rich people to get rich is kind of a revenge thing on his father, which I dislike that that's where that led to. I'm not sure if that's how that character works in the comics because I haven't read that comic or know much about him in the comics. I wish they would have had something different to tie to him with that. That felt very weak towards the end once you find out that's why he's doing what he's doing. That kind of sucked. I dislike that. But up until that moment, he was a good semi villain. So you learn that about him. Um, you also have Obadiah Stane's son, Zeke Stane, in this. He's Joe at the time because he's trying to hide that he is the son of Obadiah, but he is very intelligent as well and has this idea of what to do with technology. He's doing biotechnology, so implanting stuff into human flesh and making it melt together. Him and Riri link up, and he learns some stuff from Riri, and Riri learns some stuff from him and gets some information from him. They become kind of friends, but Riri uses one of his things in one of Hood's heists and loses it, and they find out that Zeke has all these illegal weapons and biotech stuff, and he gets arrested. Of course, the Hood breaks him out and lets him get a whole new tech makeover. which gives him biotech in his body, and he is more of a vulnerable opponent to Riri in her suit. But of course, Hood uses an override thing to keep control of Ezekiel, so now he has to follow him. Ezekiel does beat Riri. I'm kind of fast tracking some of this, so if I lose you on some stuff, sorry, I'm trying to get through it because this is gonna be a long podcast. Zeke does beat Riri in a fight, messes up her suit, so she has to make another suit. Before that happens, Riri meets her mom's friend's daughter, who is studying magic. She's studying magic at Doctor Strange's place of magic. I can't. I think I'm blanking off the name of that right now. But Riri eventually works with her to put magic in a new suit she builds. But this is when after Riri loses her suit, she tells her mom that she's been lying about the job she was doing, that she's been doing stealing and all this. Forget the Natalie, her best friend, she made her into an AI. Her best friend died. She made her into an AI. The AI is really cool. It's really good friendship between those two. There's a slight love story in there too with her friend's brother. They have moments. It works. It's not too hard in it, but it works in there. But I digress. Riri tells her mother about what's going on with her and what's going on, and she needs to be safe, and they need to leave Chicago. And Nat and her mother convince her, like, Chicago's your home. This is what you fight for. You say you want to be this iconic person. You want to protect these people. You need to stand and fight. You've already ran. You've already flew. Now it's time for you to stand up and fight. So they work with her to build her new suit. The first suit she has from MIT is really cool looking. It's really cool. Once it gets broken up, she goes to her second suit, which is more of a junkyard kind of looking suit, which I still like. Is really cool. This third suit, it's got to grow on me a little more. I didn't like the third suit she made as much. It's black and red. She doesn't have the suit from the comics. I think if they get a season two, which I really hope they do, they really need to do get a season two. They hopefully would do that in. But the third suit still got to grow on me. She eventually uses that third suit and infuse it with magic. So this is the first kind of spark we get of magic and technology working together, which is a big thing that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure in Doomsday when we get Doctor Doom. So they're introducing that into the MCU world as of now. So that's really cool. But she uses that suit, gets it infused in magic, and eventually goes after the Hood, beats Zeke Stain, but allows him to get rebooted so he can get back control of his biotech in his body. But he still is kind of mad at her for what she did. So they're probably going to have a fight, hopefully in season two. But I hope they work to come together. But she fights the Hood. She outsmarts him with the hologram kind of situation, which I thought was really good, really cool. And then she takes the Hood from him, and then Mephisto tries to get her on his side. And this is where it was really good, but I was a little upset, but in a good way. They leave it off on a cliffhanger because Mephisto is trying to convince Riri to work with him, that he would give her whatever she wants, trying to do the same deal she did with the Hood and slash Parker. And they don't tell you what is decided. We don't know if she decides to do it with Mephisto because she lost when she put magic into her suit. She lost the Natalie AI, so she wants to have the Natalie AI back. And Mephisto is kind of saying he can do that for her. So we're left with a cliffhanger. We don't know if she's going to do this with Mephisto or if she says no to Mephisto. So hopefully we get a season two and we learn more about this. But it was a really good ending. It was really good. It's very emotional. There's a part where she comes true because everybody asks her why she building an Iron Man suit, why is it so important to her? She always tells them because I can. And her mother asks her, and it's like, why is it so important? She said this wild line. She's like, look, you've lost your friend, you've lost your job, you ain't got no man because you're trying to build this suit. Why is it so important to you? And she finally breaks down and says, because I needed to be able to protect you, and I could not protect my stepdad and my best friend because I didn't have this suit. And you learn that she is still dealing with the grief of losing her stepdad and her best friend. And she knows that suit can help her protect the one she loves. And it is heartbreaking because you forget, for those that don't know, Black women are the strongest part of our culture. They are usually the backbones of most family. And you see that they hold on to so much to keep everything going. And for her to have a moment to let that go and let that hurt and that worry and the fears go off her chest and tell someone about it gives her that relief that lets her know she can keep going and she can do this and she's not alone doing this. That was a beautiful moment. So it was, it's those little things you see in shows that mean the world to certain people, to see that, to see themselves in that. It's amazing. So yeah, that is my review of Ironheart. Like I said, 8 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10 show for me. Definitely gonna watch it over again to miss the stuff I might have missed. There's a lot of Easter eggs in it too, from the comics, from the MCU itself. So it's worth a rewatch and catching stuff. Um, like I said, if you don't like it, cool. Don't like it. You don't have to go bashing it. You don't have to tell people they're stupid for liking it. Let people like what they like. Long as they ain't hurting nobody or doing no illegal stuff, why does it hurt you? But that is my review of Ironheart season 1. Here's to hoping it gets a season 2 because I truly think it deserves it. It could be an amazing continuous story if they allow them to keep going. But yeah, Marcus, say some words for a second.
Um, Earlier, I said what I had to say earlier.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say, did by chance did anybody call anybody a goofy in the show? That is definitely Chicago slang.
no, they didn't
And
say that. I don't think so. I might have not been.
I've just been. I, it's just a
No,
term that we use.
yeah,
I was just curious.
that might
Since
have
it was
been.
based in Chicago,
It's possible.
yeah.
There's something I realized too. Like her friend died 5 years ago, so her friend's use of like vernacular and like common sayings would be different than they would be at that time when she brought her back in her memory of it. That's something I had to realize. So I have, when I go rewatch it again, I'm gonna see if all the things people said felt like old meme talking things. If it only came from her friend, then that would make more sense because her friend's kind of stuck in time back here and not in
Yeah.
this future time. So that would be cool. But that's a detail within the show that you don't see if you're so fixated on, well, this isn't how people talk. No, that's how people may have talked back then. So it looks different to you now. So because
Yeah.
she did say something like uh what you talking about, Sway? And that's
Yeah.
really long ago. But if
Yeah.
she died in that universe that far back, that could have been something going
Yeah.
on at the
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
yeah. But guys, that is the podcast for this week. Like always, we appreciate you taking the time, listening, watching, or sharing it out to all the people you know in your phone. Greatly appreciate that. This is episode 26. I
Wow.
think so. Is this
Yeah.
26? I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
26. Yeah.
But like, if you haven't already, we would greatly appreciate it if you go hit that follow button, that subscribe button, and that like button. Hit all the hearts. Um, Keep checking us out on all the other social medias. Y'all killing it on TikTok. We're getting a lot of views. We greatly appreciate that. Go ahead and share those views to other people. Share stuff you listening to, you like it. Let other people know about it. As always, you can send us a voicemail, voice message down below. Click the link. You got about a minute, minute and a half. You can tell us something about sports, superheroes, our life. As long as there's no weird shit, we probably answer it on the podcast, so you can hear your voice on the podcast too. But with that being said, guys, greatly appreciate you checking out the show. As always, I know me and Marcus appreciate it. But that is the podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.